Well, with this show starting up, thus starts Amazon deciding that they need to catch up to Netflix and doing whatever they can to make a name for themselves.
Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou.
Hey guys, it's Cameron, my review for the series premiere of the new Amazon series, One Mississippi. Now, this is a show that really flew under my radar, and I'll explain why. Because although the first season of the show recently came out 2 days ago, this is a show that I've been able to watch the first episode of since November. This is, one of those shows where Amazon had a shit ton of pilots. You basically guessed which pilot, you figured out which pilot you wanted to be a full series, and One Mississippi was one of those shows that ended up being one of their new series. And somehow I didn't get a chance to watch it. I wanted to check it out, I remember I really want to check it out for a couple of reasons. One, because of Tig Notaro. I didn't watch the documentary Tig, but I've known what Tig has gone through, and I think just the fact that she's putting herself out there, especially after what she's gone through, is very interesting in that. But also because I really do want Amazon to be as good as Netflix. And don't let that intro fool you. What I'm trying to say is I want Amazon to catch up to Netflix. I want Amazon to be as good. And I think Amazon has been making some great shows. And I have to say that One Mississippi is definitely the right way to go. I really love the series premiere overall. I thought that it was very different than what I expected, but I really did love it overall. I don't know why this show flew under my radar, and I'm going to probably get this done in like 2 hours, because there's only 6 episodes, but let's just get right into it, because I want to talk about the plot to this show. Basically, it's loosely based on Tig Notaro's life. We focus on Tig. She is recently coming back from wherever she lives. I don't remember where she lives, but she's going to Mississippi, her hometown, where she grew up, because her mother has recently gotten very ill, and basically everyone's, trying to decide if they want to pull the plug, what they want to do, and they're really trying to figure out, is this really the right way to go? Should they pull the plug? Should they save her mother? Well, Tig, meanwhile, was the one that was closest to her mother and is also dealing with her own mental illness, and it's basically her trying to move on from her mother's death eventually, because her mother does die, and also coping with her own illness, and also trying to get into the good graces of her family. And that basically is the plot of One Mississippi, but there's a lot more to it besides that. I definitely do want to talk about that. Like I said, the thing that attracted me the most of this show was Tig Notaro. This is someone that, if you don't know, does have cancer in real life. She was someone that was diagnosed with cancer. I can't think of how long ago, but I think ever since she's done comedy, she's had cancer. And it's been, really bad breast cancer and everything. That's why she has short hair and things like that. But unlike other people, she uses comedy to basically make herself feel better. And I really love what she did in this role, because it's not necessarily a comedic role for her, and that's something I was a bit surprised about. There isn't a ton of comedy in this first episode, but that's one of the things I love about Tig Notaro, is that this is a very raw, I think, portrayal of her, and I think a lot of what we're seeing here is very true. Because, obviously, Tig, someone who was very close to her mother was one of the only people that truly understood her and truly did respect her. Because Tig, 1, is a lesbian, 2, has this cancer, and she was also very different from a lot of people, and her mother always stuck up for her, and she's trying to figure out how her life is going to be without that figure in her life, the only person that's really helped her, and I think she really did a great job here. But you can also see that she really doesn't want to move on, because it's been a while since she did see her mother, and of course she has that grief in her, and I thought that was very well handled. But also the way she's trying to overcome her own illness, and the fact that she definitely is trying to move on with it. You can tell that deep down, she really does not want to have this illness, because she really is not used to it yet. Even though she has it, she's not really used to it. She hasn't really faced her family when she's had it, and that is going to be a journey that I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this season. I think she absolutely killed it, though. She did an incredible job. Really blew me away in this first episode, and I really love what she had to offer. She was fantastic. And if you haven't heard the name Tig Notaro now, you definitely will after the first episode. And if you haven't heard the name Tig Notaro yet, which I don't know why you haven't, she's actually a very famous comedian. She did a, documentary on Netflix, and now she's done this. You will definitely hear her name after this, because I definitely see an Emmy nomination in her future, especially just from this episode, and I really think she did an incredible job. But just as good as her, in my opinion, is a character that I don't know if she's going to be a main character, but Casey Wilson is a character of Brooke. I loved her character. I thought she was fantastic. She plays Tig's girlfriend in the show. Now, I don't know if this is Tig's real-life girlfriend, because the show didn't say, but I'm willing to bet that because the fact that it's so realistic and so based on Tig's actual life. Honestly, this might actually be her real-life girlfriend. If that is, that's all the more impressive because I love the chemistry that these two shared. Brooke is someone who she really is accepting Tig for who she is, but she's also asking Tig a lot of the questions that Tig doesn't want answered. There's this fantastic scene where these two are in bed together, and Brooke is asking her things that Tig really doesn't want to think about, such as, you know, what happened to her boobs or things like that, or, you know, how does she look now that she's had the cancer, or now that it's, you know, what is her life going to be like, things that Tig just doesn't really want to think about because she wants to move forward, and the fact that Brooke is not really, I'd say, interrogating her, but basically making her think about these things, I think is very interesting, and I hope we see more of that relationship, because I think that definitely is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the way that's going to go. And then the other two characters in the show, Noah Harpster and John Rothman, they were fine this first episode, just didn't leave a ton of an impression on me because it's so focused on Tig in this first episode that those two characters, we do get to see them, but we do see that their relation, you know, Tig's relation with them is definitely not the best. You know, they're someone that they don't really understand what she's going through. They're also, you can tell, not really ready to move past her mother's death, and they, I think, also are going to be just as hurt as her. So I think those three are really going to have to come together and help at each other get over her mother's death, which is going to be very sad to see. But this is a great cast. I love that there's not too many names here. I love how small the cast is. I love the way everyone works, and I think that alone is enough reason for me to really like this. Now let's talk about the directing in the show, because I believe the show is directed by Tig herself, and I really got to give it to her. The fact that she's able to tell this story, something that probably is very hard for her, because again, I do think that this story is true. I don't know if she was as close to her mother as she was, but this is a very well done story, and the tone here is very interesting, because the show is labeled as a comedy. I wouldn't really say the show's a comedy, because like I said, there's not a ton of comedy in this first episode. There are a couple funny scenes, but this mainly was a half-hour drama, and you know what? I think that's really good. Honestly, I think that's kind of where we're at now. A lot of comedies nowadays, it's kind of questionable whether it's a comedy or a drama, and this very much is a half-hour drama with comedic elements, and I really do appreciate the way that they're doing that. I think that's something that this show is going to benefit from very well. Does it need comedy? Yeah, I mean, Tig's a comedian, so I do want to see some comedy in there, but I understand why this first episode there wasn't really room for it, because it's a very solemn start. I mean, her having to lose her mother, not really much to joke about. There is this one kind of funny scene in the beginning, but there's nothing really where I'm like, oh, that was hysterical. I'm fine with that, though. This episode's not made to make you laugh. It's made to set up the story and show Tig's relation with her mother and show what her relation with her family is like, and I thought that was enough for me. The writing here, I got right into. I was so into the story. I love the way the story's going. It's very sad, but it's not sad to the point where it's, like, depressing. It's more sad to the point where you know that these characters have you know, had this influence in their life. They're going to have to overcome this loss, and we don't really know how they're going to do so. So that's going to be something I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, is how they overcome this loss, what that's going to be like. I think that the writing to the show is just great. And again, I don't know how much of it is based on her real life, but I also love the way the episode started with her in the radio, whatever you want to call it, the sound room control, I don't know what you call it, but where she's in that room and she's talking about her life. I'm pretty sure that's how every episode is going to start, and I think that's a really good device to do, because it shows that this is something from Tig's actual life that she's saying, but we don't know if the entire story is true. Honestly, I'd love to figure out if it's true. Now, I don't need to know if it's true, because it's a great story nonetheless, and I think that's something they did very well here, as well as the cinematography here. I do think this was filmed, actually, in Mississippi. Now, I don't know if Tig is from Mississippi. She doesn't have a southern accent like some of the others do, but if she was, then cool, but I don't actually know if Tig is from Mississippi. Again, I haven't really done my research on that, but I guess we'll have to see what happens in the rest of the show. And as far as where we go from here, I mean, I think the rest of the show is going to be Tig having to overcome her mother's death, also coming to terms with her own illness, and I think basically kind of getting over the fact that she could end up, that she needs to move on, and that major influence is not in her life anymore. The person that she inspired her the most is just not there, and I think that overall is going to be very interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing the way that goes. Also, the intro of the show, I really do love the intro. I think it works perfectly for the setting. You guys saw the intro in the beginning. I really did love the way that's done. I think it's a very good intro. Overall, guys, I really did love this first episode. Thought it was very well done. I thought it really got us into this character. I very much was focused in the story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these next 5 episodes. Like I said, there's only 6 episodes, so I can probably get this done very quickly. I honestly might finish this today because it's just that there's not a lot to watch. It's a very short amount of binge, so I'm very happy about that. And I think Amazon really does have a hit on their hands. I really do hope that a lot of people watch the show. I haven't heard a ton of people talk about it, unfortunately, but I really do encourage you guys to see it. If you guys have Amazon and you see the show, watch it. Definitely watch it. It's worth your time. It's very well done. It's sad to a degree, but it's also kind of hopeful, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the series is going to play out, and I'm definitely going to binge the rest of the series. Maybe I'll finish it today. I don't know, but that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the show. If you have seen it, please don't, if you have seen the rest of the season, don't spoil it for me, because I am going to watch the second episode, like, literally right now when I'm done here. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoy it. If my review is not for the season, then my review will be for the series premiere of Son of Zorn, because I know that premieres tonight, and I do want to watch it. Fuck Big Brother. Big Brother just needs to end. I want to watch Son of Zorn, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.